Hello lovely people, it's Cara here, and as you know I am so mad, and today I am going to indulge myself in talking to you about just three things: a jacket, a bag and a wonderful weekend. Can't say fairer than that really, can you? Ah, welcome. If you're new around here, it's lovely to have you here. I really am enjoying the vibe of my sewing at the moment, and to know you're watching, it means the world to me. So thank you very much. Oh my goodness, every now and again, or actually recently for me, quite often projects come along that really just tick all the boxes for me, and the Pilar jacket is one of those projects. Now, I've talked a lot about Maison Fauve, and I'm never going to apologise for that because their design is just second to none, and has taken me on my personal sewing journey to somewhere I thought I would never be. And it's just opened up so many avenues, opportunities, friendships. How lucky am I, basically? I work hard with my sewing, but it's not hard in the sense of hard work. It's commitment, it's enjoyment, it's yeah, investment in time and things like that. And this jacket is definitely an investment in time, and I didn't rush it. In fact, I think I've been talking about this jacket for weeks on my channel. So here we are. She's finally made, or it's finally made, the Pilar jacket. I'm going to pop in here a reel and some photos, I suspect, of the jacket, because I once again just want to make sure I do this jacket justice. This is the most amazing fabric. This is called Coral. It's gone completely out of my head, isn't that just typical? A Coral Azure swoop jacquard fabric, and it is divine. I really want you to sort of come in out of the camera and feel this fabric, because it is very soft. Jacquard is so it's got raised areas on this, and it's just it is actually true to colour there. When I was looking on their Instagram page when they launched the fabric, the coral actually looked more red, but actually here you can see there that it's definitely a coral colour, and it is stunning. And then on the inside it's actually more white than it is blue, and more on that later. But I'm absolutely certain you've all seen the details of the Pilar jacket. I may put some stock photos here or something, because there is pleat details here, and in fact I have taken a picture of myself in this jacket with the pleats showing, so I want you to see the level of detail there. It's got these lovely pockets. These are fully functional. I can't say I've actually, it's my dog barking at the pigeons again. Can't say I've undone these. I won't actually. But yeah, fully functioning pockets, and I just chose to line them with a cream fabric here. In fact, this is an old pillowcase which I just cut up because I didn't have any plain fabric, and yeah, so just wanted to sort of not draw attention away from this amazing fabric. There is pockets on the side here. They're not huge pockets, so I don't think I would put my mobile phone in there or anything, but they're enough to put your hands in to sort of keep yourself warm. And I think in one of the pictures you can see that I've got my hands in my pockets, which is a usual stance for me. So what was the sewing process like? How did this fabric sort of meet? It's quite a thick fabric. What was that like? Well, I was going to toile this jacket. I don't toile anything, as you're probably aware. I normally make things work for me, and I have sewn a lot of the Maison Fauve projects, so patterns, and I recently devoted a video to that, so please go and check that out. That film hasn't had a lot of love, so I'd love it if you could go over and watch that, and that's my French pattern collection. Hopefully I'll remember to leave a link below. If not, it's on my videos. I didn't toile it. I was going to make it out of a green wool, and then I thought, do you know what, it's summer. I don't actually I don't really need more jackets in my life right now, and I didn't want to make something for the sake of making it. Also because I had made a number of the Maison Fauve patterns before, I decided to go for it. So I cut the straight size 44, which fits my measurements beautifully. I didn't toile it. I did, however, invest in Andrea from Beyond the Pink Doors Sew Along. So that was my sort of safety net, if you like. Now, you could say, why did I do that? Because I've used the French sew-alongs filmed by the lovely Emile from Maison Fauve. They're in French, but you can change the subtitles to English really, really easily. But Andrea has a certain way of doing things, and I love to learn from her. So I did actually watch both sew-alongs. I watched the French one from Maison Fauve, but I literally sewed this along with Andrea. And I'm really glad I did, because I wanted that safety net of knowing that I was going in the right direction. Now, don't get me wrong, I've sewn denim jackets before, and there is nothing out of the ordinary in this construction at all. It is, yeah, it's a very straightforward denim jacket make, actually. It's got beautiful, I can't remember what you call these, lap cuffs here. I can't remember what that's called, but it is very, very beautiful, the construction. The only thing I did slightly different to Andrea is she has you turn the bottom band here on the cuff and the hem is made by creating the bottom band, and she turns hers in so that when you're top stitching, you're actually top stitching the sort of the edge, if you like, to the inside. And I actually turned mine out and top stitched it to the outside, because I think it's really cute having that differential of the outside edge, sort of creates a sort of a bit of a bump, if you like. Now you can't see that on there. I loved sewing with this fabric. Now it does fray, because it's such a beautiful fabric, but it does fray. So I have been hoovering up sort of jacquard fabric for a number of weeks, and it is also quite thick. So there were sections where if you were using a lighter weight denim, definitely your corners might be crisper, easier to turn out, those sorts of things. But I don't think I lost any definition. Some of these beautiful details here possibly aren't as visible as they would have been in a lighter weight fabric, but it's a jacket for me and I adore it. So that's the main thing. The only issue I had was buttonholes. Now, number one, I realised after the event that I've done my buttonholes vertically, and apparently they're meant to be horizontal. Who knew? Who cares? Who minds? I don't, for sure. And I think actually I've put the buttons on the wrong side, but that was more to do with the crispness of some of the edges. You know how you just sort of put something on and think, well, actually I prefer it that way over that way. And again, it's a jacket for me, to be worn by me. So as long as I'm happy, I'm the customer, if you like. So that was the only things, but I thoroughly enjoyed making this jacket and absolutely would reach for another one. I made no fit adjustments to this at all. I love how it fits on the shoulders. It's bang on where they should be, and in the photos you can see that it comes just to high hip, I suppose, which is a lovely length. The arms for me are absolutely perfect, so I'm really chuffed. And overall, actually, I think this is the best fitting denim style jacket that I've made. I've made the Itch to Stitch one. I've also made the Sorrento jacket as well. And both of those I ended up having to make fit adjustments to get them just as I like them. Oh, I hope I am doing it justice. I know I said that about a number of the Maison Fauve patterns. But that's genuinely how I feel. Because just to have something like this in my life, I am so lucky to have this as a hobby. I genuinely mean that. This just brings me such joy. And in the reel that if I haven't put it in already, I'll put in again. I wanted to show you how versatile this fabric is, because it is a statement jacket. This fabric is a statement fabric, but actually quite neutral. And I've worn it with the tromplin trousers. I've worn it with my my Aina trousers, which are red denim. I've worn it with the denim coloured trousers. You can see me, jeans. You can see me, which I'm wearing now. Actually, are the Megan Nielsen Dawns. And actually, I'm personally quite pleased and surprised just how versatile and you know, how many different things I can wear this jacket with, which is a win-win for me. Because let's face it, you do want to let the jacket doing all the talking when you're wearing it, because it is a talking point for sure. I wanted to make the most of every single scrap of this fabric, and I've never made a bag before. I've not actually even been drawn to making a bag before, but when this fabric turned up and I saw just how beautiful it is, and as I say, that's the reverse side of the fabric, I thought I really, really want to make a bag. And I I'm at Little Miss So and So quite often, and they've got a good range of the noodle head bags and patterns. Sorry, and then a customer of hers walked in with the Haralson bag, which I had already seen. It's a crossbody bag. I'll put the stock photo of it there, and I thought I actually really want one of those. They're sometimes called banana bags, and my daughter was looking into buying one before she went to France. I don't think she actually got round to it, but when I saw this pattern, I was like, that's perfect. I can actually make one. So I have, and I have it with me here. So this is the Haralson bag by Noodle Head, and you can see there, I don't want to hit my microphone because I seem to do that all the time. You can see that this is the reverse, but how lovely does that look together? And then I used a remnant, literally a remnant of denim that I had, and this is the denim I used from the Bexhill shorts from the Sussex seamstress. So I love how all of my projects are suddenly coinciding together. I wanted to show you, this is actually how I use the bag, and inside, it's fully lined inside. I'm more than happy to show you the contents. I've got my purse, which has got loads of money in it. I've got a reusable bag, which is now on the floor. I've got my sunglasses, which is a great big sunglasses box, by the way. And then inside, it is beautifully lined. I've got an internal pocket there. I actually put a Maison Fauve label on there, and I've got one on the inside of the jacket too, actually. And then on the back here, you've got this amazing pocket, and obviously my phone's I'm recording using my phone, but my phone fits perfectly here. So in the photo, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to hit my microphone, but it sits across your body here, and then when you're out and about, you can just get your phone out of the back of the bag. Oh, it's amazing. And if you're thinking to yourself, gosh, wow, I've never made a bag before, that looks really easy, or it looks, I don't know, even shop bought, let's dare say it, I can promise you, I cut out all of the pieces in one session, so that did take me a little while, but not very long. You interface all of the pieces twice, which sounds a bit weird, but you cut the interfacing to the seam allowance, and you also cut seam interfacing to the whole pattern piece, so you're effectively using two lots of interfacing. And I didn't have any fancy interfacing, but that's mostly because this fabric is quite thick and quite robust. But I didn't have any fancy interfacing, and this is how the bag turned out. And this bag took me at about an hour to make. Now, Noodlehead also does a sew along, and I literally followed the sew along. I don't even think I followed the pattern instructions. I just went for the sew along. And yeah, you've got these, I think they call these swivel fixtures and D-rings. And then this is just standard webbing for bags. I am a little lot in love with this bag, I have to tell you, and the coordination with this jacket. Now, I didn't wear this jacket at the weekend, which is what I'm about to tell you about, because it was such a warm weekend. And today, actually, the sun is coming in and out, so I hope the visibility is okay. But yeah, this goes with loads of different things, and I actually used this on Saturday when I was in London as well. Amazing, absolutely amazing, and therefore I have the tiniest piece of this fabric left. You imagine that what you need is so you've got the front section and the back section there in the main fabric. You could easily do these tabs in the coordinating, and then I chose to line it. And because this top bit is one separate pattern piece, and the lining is a separate pattern piece as well, so I just decided to go for it like that. I literally used what I had, and I've got the tiniest amount of this fabric left, but as I say, wanted to do justice to it and use it as much as I can. I am utterly in love. You can't see the, there's my hand in the pocket, obviously. You can't see the, I've got threads there. You can't see the inside of the pockets, but I used the pillowcase for the pocket lining for both the pockets in the bag and pockets in the jacket as well. Just amazing. And then I mentioned there, so the final thing I wanted to talk to you about today was an amazing day out I had on Saturday. You know, the sewing community is just the loveliest community, and everyone I interact with is as lovely and as person as they are on Instagram and YouTube. We are all so passionate and so authentic about what we do. Um, it's dreamy. I'm just a super lucky person, really. And the lovely Angela from Devon Thread Tales. We've talked for years, really, on Instagram. Not a huge amount, but enough to know that if I ever saw her in the street, or we met at the knitting and stitching show just for a few moments, I felt like I'd known her all my life, and that's so special. So when I reached out to her earlier in the year at the knitting and stitching show and said I would absolutely love to meet up with you, she said, yeah, oh, of course, absolutely. And the wonderful thing about Angela from Devon Thread Tales, lives in Devon. Devon is a long way from anywhere. So I was thinking about where we could meet that would be a suitable venue. And the mecca of fabrics, or fabric shopping, is Goldhawk Road in London. I had been many years ago, but I had a husband and small child in tow, and therefore I didn't really get to see much of Goldhawk Road, and I have always wanted to go back. Many YouTubers talk about it. So Angela and I met up, and I'm going to show you a little bit of footage now, and I'll catch you on the other side. Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? So I'm up bright and early this morning. I'm off on to an adventure. Cannot wait. I'm at my local train station. I've got my SD on today and my brand new Haralson bag, which I'm really excited to tell you more about. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I'm off to see Angela from Devon Thread Tales. We are on to adventure. We're off to Goldhawk Road, so really looking forward to that. I can't wait. I have been to Goldhawk Road once before, but only for a few moments, so I'm so excited. And at the time I had a husband and very small daughter in tow. She's now 18, not very small anymore, but Angela and I, oh my words, I cannot wait to have an adventure with her. See you in a moment. I thought I'd just share with you some of the scenery from the train. It's extraordinary how the landscape changes so quickly. I do live in a beautiful spot in Sussex, and you can sort of see the downs and the fields, and yeah, the farmers hard at work, producing our grain and so on. It's absolutely stunning. But then within literally, I don't know, half an hour to 40 minutes, the landscape changes altogether, and I'm always so shocked at how quickly it happens. And then suddenly you find yourself in this, which, there's beauty in this too, but it's so far removed from where I live. So a tiny piece of footage, and the rest actually I'm going to put in as photographs, because we had an amazing experience. It was, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't what we thought it would be, but we as in the experience of being together was what made the day. Now, curious, okay, is 15 to 20 or so, maybe slightly less, fabric shops on Gold Hawk Road. And the random thing was that we couldn't buy any fabric in almost any of the fabric shops. How so? How does this happen? We were surrounded by fabric. Randomly, I didn't take any photographs, but I wanted the day to be, I took a couple of photographs, but I just wanted the day to be about being with Angela, to be fair. And I'm really glad that that was, a key purpose of the day, because although we were surrounded by fabrics, it was suiting fabrics, it was cotton fabric, it was a lot of wedding fabrics, fabrics from all around the world that actually aren't used in everyday dressmaking, if you like. And they were beautiful people, so kind, so patient, happy to show us anything. The other thing that I couldn't work out was the prices of these fabrics, and beautiful silks and things like that. I totally understand that they are going to be those sorts of prices, but every fabric I came across was investment level. We're not talking £20, £30. We're talking 40 to 60 to whatever. And the other thing, and they were the ones that were priced, the other thing that we found so frustrating was that nothing was priced. Now, I'd watched a lot of YouTube videos in my preparation for my trip, and everybody said you need to haggle. I'm not averse to haggling, that's absolutely fine. But I'm not haggling at a price point of £40 a metre, because that's just out of my price range. So I think we were honest with each other as we went round, because one or two shops in, we were thinking, this is strange, this is exactly the same as what we've just come from. But every shop was actually the same. Every shop sold the same stuff. Beautiful, but not for an everyday dressmaking purpose. So I don't want to disillusion anybody out there or burst your bubble, but there's no point in me saying I came back with loads of fabric, because I did not. Not because I didn't want to buy it, but it wasn't available. Almost no viscoses of any kind, for example. There was lots of jersey, but not really buying jersey at this time of year. So maybe it was a limited time of the year to go fabric shopping, I'm not sure. But you walk me into Guthrie Garni, or you walk me into Beyond the Pink Dawn, not that that's open, but you know what I mean, or Fabric Godmother, again, not open to the public unless it's an open day, and I would be surrounded by fabrics that I would want to buy. So unusual, but we had an amazing time. Angela did buy a few pieces of fabric, and I wish I could remember the name of the shop, something like Missile Fabrics or something, Mistal Fabrics, and that was great fun. They had a sort of remnant section upstairs, and I easily could have bought loads more fabrics for bag making, for example. But I was very, very good, and I didn't. I did buy one piece of fabric, and this I think was from either A1 Fabrics or Classic Textiles, which are right opposite the tube station. And I bought this beautiful viscose. It's just £3 a metre, and I bought 3 metres of this. So I'm completely addicted to making the Esty at the moment. I've made 2, and I can definitely see more in my life. Either that, or I'm going to make another Lois dress, because I really enjoy that dress, and more details of that to come in a future vlog. So one piece of fabric, which was unexpected, but my bank account was delighted by this experience. But we did have some lovely crepes, because Shepherd's Bush Market is also just right there. So we sat in Shepherd's Bush Market, had lovely crepes, which was an interesting experience in itself. And then I decided, I said to Angela, why don't we go somewhere else in London? And I said, have you ever been to Covent Garden? And she said, oh, no, I haven't. So I scooped us off to Covent Garden. So I had a vision of sitting in the sunshine somewhere, drinking a glass of something. And again, Gold Hawk Road is just not made for that sort of customer. So we did stroll up and down the street looking for somewhere to eat, and it was only the crepes in the market that we could find. So an interesting experience all round. But we then got to Embankment. We walked up from Embankment to Charing Cross, only to discover that Pride had just been through London, so the Pride Festival and Carnival. So there were hundreds, if not thousands, of people languishing, all in a variety of different colours and so on. It was beautiful, such a lovely experience. And then for those of you who know London, you sort of walk along Charing Cross Road, and all roads left eventually meet Covent Garden. And sometimes you can go to London and not find anywhere to eat because it's just so busy. And we were walking past this lovely Japanese restaurant. They had some little bistro tables outside, so I said, well, let's take a chance. Let's sit here and at least have a glass of wine or something. So we did, which was heavenly, and then we decided to eat there, which again was heavenly. So that's magical. And then once we'd had some wine, we strolled into Covent Garden and we watched some street performers, which, you know, if you've never seen that sort of thing in that environment before, it's a very special place. And there was lots of market stalls and just general, loveliness really. I then said, well, let's go and have a look at the Opera House because that's just in the corner of Covent Garden. And that's changed a lot since I was last there. So actually it's much more accessible now, and a really lovely cafe. So if you're ever looking for a nice venue in Covent Garden, the Opera House has got a lovely, light, bright cafe. They do check your bags before you go in, so don't be alarmed by that. Looks like you sort of need a ticket to get in there, but you don't. It is just a cafe on the ground level at least. And there was a performance of La Travata, I think it was called, something like that, just about to start. So there was people all dressed up or not dressed up, as the case may be. So it was lovely to sit and people watch. And then Angela's daughter, who is studying in London, turned out she was only 10 minutes away. So she popped over and said hello. But whilst I've been talking here, hopefully I would have remembered to put some pictures in and just share with you the utter delight of our day. Angela, thank you so much for travelling all that way. I felt really bad when my phone, when I woke up at 6:30, you were in the morning, that is, you were already on the train. And I also felt really bad that when I was sitting at home drinking a glass of wine with some a cup of tea with some toast at about 9:30 at night, or no, 10:30 at night, you still had a couple of hours to go. So thank you very much for travelling all of that way to see me. I would do it, and I'm going to come down and see you next time, and I would do it all again in a heartbeat. So thank you very much for that. Oh, I had such a wonderful weekend because that was on Saturday, and then on Sunday I got to meet the glorious Jayne from Sussex Seamstress. She doesn't live too far from here. She lives probably an hour and a half from where I am, and obviously she's a Sussex seamstress and I live in Sussex, so that kind of gives the game away a little bit. And ironically, where I used to live in Uckfield is halfway between our distance for us to travel. So ironically, I end up going to where I used to live in order to meet up with Jayne. And we just sat, we took our dogs. She's got a beautiful little dog. And we just had a lovely stroll around a place called the Millennium Green. And then we sat on a bench and basically just gassed about sewing and life basically for several hours, which was just dreamy. I am one lucky lady. So thank you, Jayne. And Jayne just makes the most amazing patterns and very kindly provides me patterns sometimes in exchange, with no obligation to share actually, but I happily share my my sewing journey with Jayne's patterns, the latest of which was the Bexhill shorts. I will put a pop photo in there. Please head over to her website. I say that with utter genuine delight and admiration of what she does. So I hope you've enjoyed sort of my catch up. Oh, the Pilar Jacket, beautiful bag, wonderful friendship. Can't say fairer than that, can you? Next week I'm going to be taking you through some more recent makes that I've been getting up to, and then I think I've got a plans video on the way. So it's lovely to catch up with you all. I hope you stay safe and well. Thanks everybody. Bye bye.